The tooth truck is here, and that means it's time for the Sertoma Gridiron Classic. The East All-Stars feature former standouts from the Eagles, Falcons, and more. The West, meanwhile, has 11 All-State players from towns like Republic, Marionville, and Mount Vernon. It's going to be a great night with good food, good football, and good fun at the 22nd Annual Gridiron Classic. The boys of fall break out their helmets and shoulder pads one final time tonight as we bring you coverage of All-Star High School football in June. It's the 22nd Annual Sertoma Gridiron Classic. Hello and good evening, everybody, and welcome to JFK Stadium here on the campus of Parkview High School in Springfield. Alongside Hall of Fame broadcaster Tom Mast, I'm Corey Riggs. And Tom, it feels fun. It always feels fun being out here for football in June. But for a lot of these young men, you know, I looked something up the other day. Only about 7% of high school athletes get a chance to play college sports. So for a lot of these guys, it's the last time they'll step inside the lines tonight.
Last time the helmet comes over the ears for a lot of these guys tonight. Now, many of them will go on and continue in college, but it's a big night for those that won't. Last time to play, last time to make contact. So you want to go out on a high note, and nothing better than a charity event like this to do it.
Yep, and you said the magic word, charity, because not only is this recognizing these outstanding high school athletes, but it's also about raising money for a good cause, the Tooth Truck.
Well, the Tooth Truck, which has just become emblematic of great health care here in Southwest Missouri, and a great night tonight here means a great night for the Tooth Truck going forward.
Yep, a brand new Tooth Truck. We'll talk about that and these all-star athletes as the night goes on. We'll take our first break. When we come back, we'll introduce you to the all-star coaches, players, and get you ready for kickoff. It's all-star high school football tonight on MC 22.
You don't have to be the perfect puppy raiser to be the right one. Contact Southeastern Guide Dogs today and ask about becoming our next puppy raiser.
Malware and bots and worms, oh my. The wild, wild web can be a scary and complex place. And as our digital world expands, so too are the threats. Watch out, Trojan horse. That's why at Mediacom, we take security very seriously and monitor our networks around the clock to stop threats before they can affect you. Not today, rude kid. Not all internet is created equal. We build ours to keep you connected and protected.
The captains are making their way to the middle of the field to get things ready to roll here. It's blue versus red, west versus east. Here, the 22nd Annual Gridiron Classic. Huge fundraiser for the Tooth Truck later on in the evening. We'll talk to the general dentist of the Tooth Truck, Dr. Sarah Cimino, as she'll join us in quarter number 3. And Tom, the captains make their way to midfield for the coin toss. And this is kind of one of those games where everybody, I mean, every one of the players that we talked to at practice this week just talked about how much fun they had preparing for this game.
Well, you know, you think in the fall that it's over, and then you get the opportunity to think about it. Will I be asked to play in this, and will I be available? And lo and behold, here comes June, and I get to play another game of football. And as we said, a lot of these guys are going to go on. We'll document tonight players that are going to go on and play at the collegiate level, but we'll jump in here and listen.
Yeah, Dave Cox, our referee down on the field.
Also, make sure you guys are keeping your head up. Don't use your helmet as a weapon, okay? We don't want anybody hurt out here tonight. Coaches, that's all we've got for sportsmanship tonight. Good luck to you both.
Our officials from the Joplin area tonight, as you get a live look down inside the coin toss before we get started. We'll introduce you to the coaches, introduce you to the starting lineups as we move on here, and give you an explanation of how the rules are a little bit different for this all-star event.
Well, the West, they won the toss here. We'll see what they decide to do. They're going to defer, so the East will get the ball on offense first.
This is an East All-Stars team with a ton of firepower and some of the top quarterbacks in Southwest Missouri, along with their starting quarterback, Cole Forbacher, the standout from Glendale High School. and the massive numbers he has put up into that vaunted Mike Mock offense, Tom.
Well, we were at practice this week, and I think airing the ball out will be an understatement tonight. You're going to see a lot of it. We see a little bit of ground attack, but with the great quarterback talent we've got tonight, we're going to see the ball in the air.
The East All-Stars are coached by head coach Cody Bull out of Marshfield, along with most of his coaching staff, Matt Holt, Ron Catterley, Paul Lewis, Cecil Bratton, Jason Broyles, Will Pate, and Eli Hungerford. Then a lot of Camdenton Lakers, I guess I should say former Camdenton Lakers. The offensive coordinator is recently retired head coach Jeff Shore, and then Parr Pitts, the new head coach of Camdenton, among the coaches on that side of the field. Meanwhile, for the blue team, the West All-Stars, Peyton Grubbs brings along his Marionville Comet coaching staff. Mark Blankenship, Matt Price, Josh Evans, Jake Gideon. He's got Luke Rader coaching the running backs. He's the head coach at Stockton. Wes Beechler, the head coach at Nevada, also a part of the group of coaches on the west side. Then those rules, Tom, no double tight end sets, no empty sets, which is kind of different from high school football nowadays. On the defensive side, no blitzing until the offense is inside the 10-yard line. But some of those rules have been suspended tonight.
Well, you've had a handshake agreement between the head coaches tonight. They're going to let certain things happen.
That Joplin officiating crew we mentioned, Dave Cox is your referee, Roy Mason, Chris Anderson, Logan Phillips. The back judge is Josh Benham.
Back to the rules. And you really have to have in a game like this, you have to have some limitations. Because these guys have not played in 6 months.
They had 4 days to prepare.
4 days to prepare, so you've got to step in and you've got to make it so that things are going to work out and nobody gets hurt, and that we have a good, fun environment as we're playing here. And you'll see as the West is going to boot it off here, we'll find out how quickly this powerful East offense gets on track here tonight.
Malachi Henham is the kicker out of Mount Vernon, a first-team All-State selection. His low-line drive kick will put the ball in play. That one bounce over the return man's heads out of the back of the end zone. They will bring the ball back out, and we will get underway and get our first look at the East All-Stars. Their quarterback, Cole Forbacher, 6'3", 200 pounds, a third-team All-State selection, who will, you see all the accolades he's got on screen, and he is a future Missouri State Bear.
Well, and he's a tall drink back there. He spent a lot of time this year running out of the pocket in that Glendale offense. Don't think you'll see him run a lot tonight. Could be wrong, but I think most of what you'll see is coming off the arm of Forbacher when he gets his opportunities.
You see the empty set, a zero set here. 5 wide receivers. Trips to the left, twins to the bottom. They'll send a man in motion, and it'll be a double reverse on the first play. Bryant Bull will try to air it out, and this is going to be intercepted by the West. Going into the bag of tricks on the first play, and it is picked off by Gunnar Ellison, the former Republic Tiger.
Now we're going to give away some information here. We saw them working on this in their practice the other night, and they spent a lot of time on this, and lo and behold, they came out on the first night. And Bryant Bull, he got just a little too much air under this, and you saw Andrews right there trying to shake off a defender, but what an interception, and just like that, the West flips it.
There was a little bit of contact there in the defensive backfield. You might have had some of the players from the East hoping for a little pass interference there, but too much air under that ball, and it is taken away on the opening offensive possession. So the West, with their first crack at it, will go on play action down the middle. That pass is incomplete as the Blue All-Stars out of the West get things started. Their quarterback is Brock Mooneyham. Or it's Will Carlton.
Carlton's going to start there, yeah.
Say Brock Mooneyham had already checked in the game. I'm like, they've got a couple of quarterbacks, but Carlton obviously played his 4 years at Marionville for the West head coach, Peyton Grubbs.
And bear with us because there will be a lot of shuffling of talent in and out. It may come play after play.
You see the starting lineup for the West, including Wes Beechler's son, Drew Beechler, starting at tight end tonight. The offensive line anchored by Christian Tidwell in the middle.
And you saw right there one of the rules that they've waived tonight, as the West will run a double tight end set.
They draw the guard and the tackle, then run counter to that. A run off the right side of the line is taken out of bounds by Connor Sandridge as he rolls over the defensive alignment and gets about 8 yards on the first down carry.
Yeah.
Here's the defense for the East All-Stars. You see the defensive line with Cole Griesmer and Harold Lassiter at the defensive ends. Brock Horton-Owens and Jacoby Coleman in the middle. Then Thrasher, Musia, Grimm, and Lewis in the linebacking core. Just 3 defensive backs, including former Kickapoo Chief Samias Pickett.
Don't know how much ground game we'll see. Probably going to see more out of the West, I think, tonight.
On play action, they will check it down, and on 3rd and 2, that pass is dropped. It will fall incomplete. And you and I had we had a little bet going back and forth as to whether or not we'd see a lot of punting tonight. So on 4th and short, what do you think the West All-Stars are going to do?
Well, they're at midfield, and, you know, here's an opportunity to, you know, see what you can do, and maybe you go ahead and gamble. Hey, it's an all-star game.
That's right. This isn't for a district championship.
No,
it's not a state semifinal.
There's no trophy, so the guys that they brought on to do the kicking tonight might have a pretty easy night.
Carlton out of the gun, low snap. He will take it himself up the middle, and he gets stopped. A loss of a couple of yards as the East All-Star defense bows their back. And heck, the West may have lost the ball as well, as you see bouncing off the field. Big Jacoby Coleman, the former Camdenton Laker. He was a late add to the roster as you watch the ball get stripped.
That ball's out. They do recover, but the ball comes out. It goes over to at the 42-yard line. So back-to-back turnovers on possessions here.
So after the opening interception, the All-Stars from the East now get started on the good side of the 50-yard line, going downhill. They will pass out to the flat. Down the far side of the field, that one is completed. Cole Griesberg playing both sides of the ball, the former Hillcrest Hornet. Tom, he was a 2nd team All-District, 3rd team All-Area kid who will be playing basketball for the Evangel Valor.
Well, there's just athletes on the field tonight. You know, a lot of guys. He'll pick up 5 on that.
Call it 2nd down and about 5. Quarterback keeper this time. Forbacher tries to run up the middle, bounces it outside, and he will be close to the 1st down marker. Should have enough to move the chains.
Well, I said thought you might not see Forbacher run much. There he goes.
Here's a guy who can run in the backfield with him. Ramon Green, the former Nixa Eagle, who was a superstar. Bryant Bull, of course, we've seen at wide receivers. The offensive line there on the screen as well.
We'll see a lot out of Green tonight.
So 1st and 10, here is the aforementioned Ramon Green. Gets to the outside, turns the corner, running downhill, and gets knocked out of bounds as he clears the 10-yard line. A good scamper on the first touch of the game for Ramon Green, just like his quarterback, Tom, Cole Forbacher. Ramon Green planning to be a Missouri State Bear.
Well, and all he needed was the edge, and he got it right there. Good lead, good kick-out block right there, as you say, gets him down just outside the 10-yard. Going to be a pickup of about 20.
High snap that time, and nothing the quarterback can do with it, as this time Bryant Bull lines up as the signal caller. Tried to run up the middle. The West defense was there to meet him. Cooper Douglas, another Republic Tiger, in on the stop. He's 6 feet tall, 190 pounds. Plans to go to OTC in the fall.
Loss of 1.
Call it 2nd down and 11. Boy, they're switching quarterbacks left and right. That may be a backwards pass. Green has to retreat and get it. Now shuffles, spins around, and tries to make something out of nothing, but will lose another couple of yards here on a edgy play in the backfield that got away from Ramon Green.
Got to treat it like a lateral. Really wasn't a pass. He was able to grab it.
Your defensive line, Markham, Klein, and Wells up front. A good linebacking core with the twins, Drew and Draven Van Gilder. So 3rd and long now. Ball set just outside the 15-yard line. The throw across the middle is caught. Weaving his way through traffic is Brock Lyle. He reaches out, but before he gets to the pylon, he steps out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. And Brock Lyle, former Rolla Bulldog, Tom, is one of the guys that coaches talked about has been a lot of fun in practice this week.
Well, here's the reach, and he just doesn't quite have, of course, didn't have control of it either, but he's going to come up about a yard short. So 4th and going for it.
Call it 4th and 1 from about the 2-yard line. So the East All-Stars will go with their heavy package. They call it Mongo. Forbacher takes the snap. The give is up the middle, and the West All-Stars say nothing doing as the run that time, the first of the night for Cade Musia, the former Lebanon Yellow Jacket, and they are stuffed.
I think the ball's going to go over because they did not get it inside where they needed. So a nice drive working for the East that falls short about 2 yards nigh of the goal line.
Gage Miller, the Nevada linebacker, in on the stop. He plans on going to Missouri State next fall. Not to play football, though. He's on a pre-dental path.
Well,
so
he can go out and view the truth truck at halftime. That'll be great.
Maybe he can get an internship with the tooth truck down the road. So this is going to be about 97 yards to go now for the West All-Stars as they start in the shadow of their own goalpost.
Keeper.
Quarterback keeper, bounce it out to the right, and not much room to run that time. As the West tried to take it off the right end of the offensive line, Will Carlton tripped up, falls forward, may have lost one there.
Yep, you'll see right here on the keeper, and right here plants the foot, gets out from under it. Actually, lucky he didn't roll that ankle there. Kind of had an awkward plant to that foot right there, but he'll lose a yard, so it'll be second and just a little over 10.
Will Carlton is one of 11 All-State players on the roster for the West All-Stars. He will play college basketball at BBC next year. Low snap this time, run off the right side, trying to get some room this time for the West All-Stars, and falling forward for a gain of a couple that time.
Jackson Parnell right there on the run.
Somehow that one got deleted from my roster. Jackson Parnell with the carry, and that'll set up a 3rd and long now.
Pickup of about 3 on the carry by Parnell, and so a long way to go, and probably going to have to see Carlton go up top with it here to try to get out of this hole. The running game hasn't really materialized just yet. We're going to get a whistle.
May get an early timeout here.
Well, we question whether there might even be some heat timeout, water breaks or whatever. I don't think that's the case. I think they're just going to talk about it a little bit.
So, of course, we have been covering this event for a number of years. Had a couple of years off because of COVID, but last year this game was played over at Glendale High School, Tom.
Great environment last year. East rushing touchdown. That was Dagan Kinslow out of West Plains. Number 5, you see crashing in, and a little hot dog in at the end for him.
Little Ozzie Smith.
2-point attempt did not work. We had a fumble recovered there. Jason Lopez of West Plains comes up with it. Then back led to the East. Jackson Willison out of Thayer went crashing in, and he scored. 2-point attempt was successful. And then a pass here from Tyler Watts of Nixa to Liam O'Reilly of Catholic.
Great
they get
catch.
in. So great catch. They get in. Another good 2-pointer for them. And then the East with a rushing touchdown here. Cody Stacy out of Fairgrove tucks it and goes and got it in and pushed it across. And then a safety to close things out in a 28-2 final.
The only points to the West coming on that defensive safety at the end. 3rd and long. Carlton going to heave this one down the near side of the field and just beyond the outstretched fingertips that time of Drew Beechler, as he leaked out and was able to get up the hash mark and try to connect on a long bomb. But that was just beyond his reach, and that's saying quite a bit. Beechler 6'6", 185.
Well, we wondered how we would see any punting, and I think in this circumstance we'll probably see a kick here.
Probably the
Malachi Henham out of Mount Vernon is going to be called upon to get it out of there.
Yeah, probably the wise choice here when you've got an all-state kicker and punter, but he does not have a lot of room to work with here. And he is rushed. He tries to get rid of the ball and is taken down for 2, as that is a sack in the backfield on the punter. And getting to him first was Branson Pirate Cade Grimm.
Well, we just showed you the highlights from last year's game that closed with a safety. So this game begins with a safety.
Makes perfect sense.
I just don't think this ever materialized the way he wanted. I think he came up looking for a receiver and nobody looked back at him. And you see him come crashing through, and like you say,
because he was really close to the line of scrimmage, as opposed to putting his back heels on the out-of-bounds line. So
they almost telegraphed what they were going to do there.
Yeah.
He was so close. I mean, he was not your typical 12 to 15 deep right there.
Looked like he was going to try and throw it. Cade Grimm, 5'10", 220 out of Branson. All-state in wrestling this year, as well as being a third-team all-conference and all-COC linebacker and running back. Down in Branson, gets the first points of the night, 2-0. Now in favor of the East All-Stars. The East as the visitors on the scoreboard tonight. The West, the home team.
Well, and, you know, that's a roll of the dice. And as we said a while ago, everything's up for grabs tonight. These coaches are probably going to have as much fun as the kids trying to dial things up, be a little off balance with some of the things you expect. Like we noted there, you know, he was not in your typical deep formation to punt the ball. And I was looking, thinking, well, what's he going to do? And then lo and behold, that's what they did. They tried to pull something. Yeah.
Well, Hinham, after taking the safety, will try and kick away here as the ball's teed up on the 20-yard line. Should be good field position out of it for the East All-Stars. The return goes to the far side of the field in the hands of Brock Lyle. A little shake and bake, and he will get cut down just short of midfield. And that is where the East All-Stars will take over.
Jackson Parnell tracked him down.
So 8:04 to go here in quarter number one. You see Jeff Shore on the right there in the purple hat, the offensive coordinator for the East All-Stars after 30 years down in Camdenton. He decides to hang it up. His son Bear graduated this year. Bear on the All-Star roster, but he's trying to get back from an injury before he goes off to play college ball. Quick pass to the near side, collected that time by Ramon Green as the running back shows that he's got good hands. He's able to get forward for a gain of about 7.
And that was Connor, his Knitzel throwing to his teammate there, and that's good for 7 yards.
Knitzel, one of 3 or 4 players in the All-Star game tonight, committed to play at Mid-America Nazarene next year, and another quick hitter here. Pass is caught by Ryan Kohler, first team All-District, All-Conference standout who will go to Lyon College next year. Kohler had back-to-back 500-yard receiving seasons at Willow Springs. So that'll move the chains. 1st and 10 now, 7.5 minutes to go. Knitzel, good blocking in front of him, and he just kind of throws that one out in front of Bryant Bull. It'll fall incomplete here.
Yeah, Bull had button hooked, and he was waiting for it, and I think Knitzel thought he was going to move, and so he was trying to lead him there a little bit and just did not connect. And after 4 days of practice, you would expect to see a lot of that tonight.
78 degrees as we get started. Feels like about 80 with 62% humidity. It is a little moist. A little humid here tonight.
Players are glad to see the cloud cover.
Knitzel with another quick hitter. He's already got a favorite target there in Kohler. Second reception for him on this drive. And that will garner the East All-Stars about 5 yards. Make it 3rd down and 5.
Probably see a lot. You know, we saw the home run ball on the very first play of the game, and they've kind of settled down and they're throwing them just a little more slant passes.
Another 1st down this time. Knitzel, it's interesting, Tom, if you look at the way the offense is being run, they're having Bull freeze on the line of scrimmage, and they've got 2 levels he can select from. That time, he picked the deeper level, was able to hook up with former Glendale Falcon Wyatt Andrews.
Another 1st down on a 10-yard gain that time.
Chain moves, clock moves. Knitzel, this time with the handoff, it's Blake Russell, the running back from Hollister, who tries to go behind the right side of the line. He'll be lucky to get a yard on that 1st down play. Stopped that time by Cole Berry out of Bolivar, 3rd team All-State selection.
And he'll get about a foot, not much more than that.
So call it 2nd down and 10. Knitzel will send a man in motion. The give is to Green. He tries to turn upfield, does. Stutter steps around one would-be tackler and then gets torched that time by Cooper Douglas.
Douglas met him helmet to helmet there. Nothing intentional, but I mean, he stood him up and spun him around. There will be a nice gain for Green on that. He'll get it all the way down near the 16-yard line.
Am I wrong here? Nixa only lost once during the regular season. Do you remember who it was to?
Oh,
pretty sure it was the Republic
Tigers. Yeah. Yep.
Here's 3rd down and 5. Good touch on the ball, but that one's going to drift out of bounds, incomplete. The intended target that time was Marshfield's Bryant Bull. That'll go to 4th down and about 5 or 6, with the ball spotted on about the 16-yard line. So probably not looking for a field goal here, Tom.
Well, we do have the foot of Caleb James from Nixa. We saw him warming up. He certainly got the leg if they want to try it.
Knitzel gets him to jump off sides with a hard count that time.
That might be enough to mark it inside and get him the 1st down. Let's look and see. I think they needed maybe a little more than 5. How close is it going to come?
Our white hat Dave Cox with the call on the field.
They're going to give them the 5.
Nye Wells out of Mount Vernon may have jumped. I think Knitzel's hard count got a couple of different defensive linemen to jump that time. The West All-Stars with that 3-4 set.
And how could you blame a guy for jumping? You haven't heard signals for 6 months.
That's right. Quick hitter, Bull turns, dives forward that 6'6" frame, leans ahead, and gets to the 10-yard line. So a pickup of a couple will make it 2nd down and 8.
East pretty meticulous so far in their running of their offense. And as we said, they've got a slew of really good arms in red jerseys tonight.
Late getting off the field that time was Will Carlton. A timeout will be called here with 5:20 to go in the first quarter. The East All-Stars up in this one thanks to an early safety, an early special teams play. It's 2-0 in favor of the East. We'll be back with more of the Grin Iron Classic after this. MC22, your home for high school sports. 5:20 remains here in quarter number 1. Kind of a slow offensive start to this one. The East with a couple of points on the defensive side of the ball as a safety is all that's been scored so far in the 22nd annual Sertoma Grin Iron Classic. Quarterback change once again. Bryant Bull, this time the signal caller. He wants a quarterback keeper, bounces it out to the left, and he is hogtied and taken down in the backfield. It's the man that may have jumped off sides on the play before, makes up for it. That's Nye Wells with the tackle for a loss.
Well, and you kind of expect the defense, to me, has the advantage in a game like this. There's not a lot that they have to work on. They just got to get through the line, see what they can do. You're requiring the offense to be a little slicker and a little more composed, and hard to do in only a couple of days of practice.
Knitzel throws, man open over the middle, dives forward, but did he lose the ball? No indication of a touchdown.
There it is, he called it.
There, finally.
I think he said he broke the plane.
And found Cole Griesmer for the first touchdown of the night. 8-0 East All-Stars. And it's a former Eagle to a former Hillcrest Hornet that gets the first points of the night.
You see, he turns it in, he comes across.
Well, that's knocked out. So it's a fumble and recovered by Griesmer.
Yeah, here we go. Here's ball is loose. So he didn't get across. Ball is loose, and Griesmer is there, and he falls on it.
It was knocked out by Gunnar Ellison, one of the linebackers for the West. So traditional point after attempt here is up and good. We told you about the leg of Caleb James, the 6'3" kicker out of Nixa, who will be kicking next fall for Missouri Southern, the Lions, down in Joplin, Missouri. So 9-0 our score. Now, Tom, it seems like in that game last year, everybody wanted to go for 2. Kind of nice to see a point after and the kickers get a chance.
Well, and you know, when you got a nice leg coming in like James has got, I mean, you know, he's really got the leg. And, of course, on the other side, we've already seen, you know, what Henham can possibly do from Mount Vernon. So maybe we will see some more kicking attempts tonight.
Get a look at your hero so far here in the first quarter, Cole Griesmer. Going to play basketball at Evangel next season. And right down on the sideline, getting into the middle of everything. Brock Lyle there celebrating with him as well. Lyle will be a member of the Evangel Valor as well, but he will play football for head coach Chuck Heppola, who, Tom, always does such a great job recruiting his own backyard.
Well, Chuck at Evangel is just such a familiar face to all of these area coaches in these programs. They see him so much. And, you know, he loves to, like you say, load up with the local talent. He really does.
Yep, a number of these young men electing to play their college football close to home. You look up and down, Missouri State, Evangel, Southwest Baptist University, and Bolivar. All 3 of those schools have at least 5 players on the field here tonight taking part in the Grin Iron Classic.
Get a good look at what kind of foot that James has here as he'll boot it away from the 40-yard line and see what kind of depth he got. They're playing him at the 10-yard line. Let's see how deep he goes.
Not much wind to speak of. That one will kind of knuckle on him and be taken by the up man. Former Republic Tiger will get stopped at the 25-yard line. Good coverage that time on the return by Jaden Parkman, former Camdenton Laker, helping out on special teams. There you look at the return man, Connor Sandridge. Sandridge, first team all-district, all-area, all-Central Ozark Conference. Most of the schools, or at least the way they try to do it when they're selecting teams, is most schools don't get more than 3 participants in the all-star game. There you see Caleb James walking the sidelines now. But sometimes when you've got guys that are gone on summer vacation or out injured or already headed off to college, a couple of more guys can get on the roster as late additions.
Good run that time.
Sandridge again.
Sandridge gets
ran right out of his shoe after picking up almost 9 yards on the first down carry. And it's a Republic football team that had a lot of success this year. A lot of these teams had success. Marionville made it in the Class 1 state quarterfinals. Seneca made it to the Class 2 semifinals. Carthage made it all the way to the Class 5 state semifinals. So a lot of deep postseason runs this year for Southwest Missouri football teams.
Off the wing here, need a yard.
Just need one, and that's going to be close. Looks like it's going to be just enough for the first down. Good hit that time by the former Branson Pirate, Cade Grimm, and we've called his name quite a bit already. I guess they're going to change the spot this time on the run that time by Parnell.
Oh, I thought he had it. I really thought that they had. I saw the line judge walk up past.
That ball.
Yeah, they're moving the change now.
There we go.
Yeah, I was thinking, wait a minute, he got the yardage.
You know what half of our problem is? I can see who the chain gang is over there. You know both of them. You were talking to them before the game.
Exactly.
First and 10, now a little trickeration as this time the handoff goes to Avius Stedman Jr., but the defense not really fooled. Good attack angle that time by the East All-Stars. The stop by Josh Lowe, the former Reed Spring Wolf.
Well, Stedman got 3 out of what probably should have been nothing, and he gets it to the 40-yard line. By the way, that previous scoring drive by the East, 12 plays, 52 yards. By far the most offense we've seen it, and you just saw the West just get their initial first down of the ball game just a couple of snaps ago.
The quarterback, Brock Mooneyham, out of Ash Grove. Low snap, play action. Mooneyham will go deep down the near sideline and overthrows his intended target that time as he tried to hook up with Gunnar Ellison. Good coverage in the defensive secondary, though. CTP, Chase Thomas Plummer.
Plummer had him stride for stride, and the ball actually went through his hands. He was more of the receiver than he was the defender that time.
West All-Stars starting to maybe not take advantage of those double tight end sets quite as much and try to open up the offense a little bit here in the closing 3 minutes of quarter number 1. Man, it feels good to be back under the Friday night lights again. Lights are on here at Hy-Vee Field at JFK Stadium. 3rd down and 7. Ball spotted on the 40. Another low snap. Mooneyham has his man. That's enough for a first down and then some. He's taken out of bounds along the East All-Stars sideline.
Is that Beechler?
Number 21, Mr. Beechler.
Beechler gets it down near the 48-yard line. Ball coming right at you right here. Good extension by Beechler there. Turns it and goes up the field. Good for about an 8-yard gain and a first down.
Drew Beechler, not only a standout in football, he was a state champ this year in the triple jump, all-state. He is going to Maryville, Northwest Missouri State, to run track. You get a good look at the former Ash Grove Pirates quarterback, Brock Mooneyham, the new signal caller. He and Will Carlton have split the duties so far. Fresh set of downs. And what should have been about a 1-yard gain turns into about 5 or 6. Hard-nosed piece of running that time for the West All-Stars as they put it into the gut that time of Connor Sandridge, and he does the rest. Tom, that was a one-man effort there.
Well, that was a 1-yard gain that became 6 because he put that hand down on the ground and maintained great balance and fought for 5 more yards.
It'll be 2nd down and 4 for Mooneyham and the West All-Stars. They'll flex 2 receivers to the right as Mooneyham operates out of the gun. Delayed handoff this time to Stedman. He is able to get around the edge, get downfield. 5, 10, 15, almost 20 yards on the run that time for Avius Stedman Jr. out of Nevada.
I like that play. You didn't know what it was going to be. Watch right here. Is it a delay option? No, it's just a delay handoff right there, and Stedman does the rest of the work. Gets the ball all the way from the 41 down to the 23.
Well, it's been the magic word in college and pro football for what, about the last 2 or 3 years? Yeah. It's 3 little letters, RPO. Yeah. Give the quarterback the option to either leave the ball in the gut of a running back or pull it back at the last second, break down the defense and see what you can get. 1st down and 10, run to the near side this time. Plenty of room to run, as bouncing out of bounds that time was Republic's Gunnar Ellison on another big gainer for the West.
And he'll get it down in 1st down territory, no question. He got it down near the 12-yard line. So from the 23 to the 12, a pickup of 11 and another 1st down for the West.
Remember when we walked you through those defensive rules, the defenses aren't supposed to blitz until you get the ball inside the 10-yard line. So you're only 2 yards away from the East All-Stars being able to pin their ears back and try to go after Mooneyham. On 1st and 10, another draw play up the middle, and that time nowhere to run to, baby. Nowhere to hide as Sandridge got walled off, and the former Lebanon Yellow Jacket, Cade Musha.
Musha got an ankle and did not let go. I mean, I watched him. I mean, he wasn't doing anything malicious, but he got a hold of that right ankle, and he wasn't going to let him slip away.
Wait, you care to take a guess what his other sport of choice is?
You think he wrestles, maybe?
Yes,
yeah,
yes, he does.
So he gets a half a point or 2 points for the takedown, maybe. There we go.
That's right. All-state wrestler. He'll play football and be a Bearcat up in Bolivar.
There's that delay again.
They'll run it off the right side this time, but boy, the East All-Stars defense takes a great angle of attack. Nowhere for Gunnar Ellison to go, and Musha in on another stop.
But a nice gain of about 3, maybe almost 4 now. They get it inside the 10-yard line to about the 9, and that'll be a 3rd down, and we're going to get some discussion by the West and probably another timeout. Or we're going to go, the clock's going into the quarter.
That'll do it. 9-0 as we end quarter number 1. The East All-Stars have the lead, but the West is knocking on the door. We'll see if they can punch it in for 6 after we take the break here on MC22.
Oh, good angle.
I am so glad to be back at the 3-day, and I walk for every single name on this flag we carry all 60 miles with us.
I'm walking for my best friend, Leah. I walk because I must.
I walk because I am a survivor.
I walk because we want to save our children. I'm walking because I can, because cancer didn't win, it didn't beat me, I beat it, and so I showed up for this walk.
Watching MC22 is now easier than ever before. All Mediacom customers can watch local programming online anytime. Go to mc22.net, click Watch MC22, and log in with your Mediacom account. Not a Mediacom cable subscriber? Mediacom internet or phone subscribers can watch too. Your local programming leader, MC22, online at mc22.net/watch.
9-0 our score as we get ready to go back to action here as we begin in quarter number 2. The East with the 9-point advantage, and we appreciate the gentlemen wearing the stripes tonight, making the drive up I-44 to take part in this game so these young men can have their all-star game. We want to remind you, you can go to mshsaa.org for more information about registering to become an official, and boy, do we need them.
Well, you need them every year, you know, because they roll in, they roll out, and you see these guys are veterans, been around for quite a while, and not ever, you can't officiate, you can't play forever, and you can't officiate forever, and we got to fill some roles.
Mooneyham to the back of the end zone, but overthrows his intended target that time as Hudson Moore, the lanky wide receiver from Carthage, watches that one bounce out of bounds. Hudson Moore, Tom, 6'6". Going to go to Independence Community College, but says, hey, man, I'm just looking at that as a stepping stone. I'm going to Independence. I know a lot of guys have gotten out of there and have had a chance to play D1 football.
I'm an old Kansas JUCO guy myself. Independence, went to a lot of their games. And a lot of guys do springboard out of Fort Scott, Coffeyville, and Independence sent a lot of guys on to the big time.
Looks like they're going to give Malachi Henham a crack at putting 3 points on the board. Ball spotted just outside the 8-yard line, so a chip shot. That one's going to be a little short, and it comes up short. Did they get a hand on it that time, as the field goal is no good?
It just looked like it never really got the loft or what he wanted out of it. He only was trying from 25 yards. The distance wasn't a big problem. You may be right. Somebody may have nicked that one.
25-yard attempt falls short. A drive that went, what, Tom, about 12 plays? Here's the replay. No. Just like he may have towed that one a little bit.
You know, I think he did. I think he had too much loft on it, and he got more air than he did anything else, and you see it right there. Just couldn't get down. Yeah, that was their 12th play of that particular drive. That drive started on their own 25-yard line, so they made some progress down the field.
So the East All-Stars in the red will take over. Ball spotted on the 20-yard line.
Let's see what happens here. That's 20-yard line we'll start. Okay.
Cole Forbacher once again, the Glendale grad, with 5 wide receivers to work with. This is his bread and butter. This is what he's used to under Mike Mock, his old high school coach, and he wants to go downtown. Deep run to Ramon Green. He's behind him. It's over.
I can do the math. That's 80 yards.
Yes, it is. Ramon Green Jr., 80 yards to the house. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, it's 15-0 in favor of the East.
Well, how many times did he see that in his career at Glendale? Receivers, when you've got that many guys in the pattern, and with the speed of a Ramon Green, I mean, getting behind the secondary made it look pretty easy.
I tell you what, somewhere in Southwest Missouri, Missouri State head coach Ryan Beard is smiling, because those are two future Bears hooking up. As you see Ramon Green, the Springfield News Leader Player of the Year for the 2022 football season.
See if another Nixa kid can notch his name in the book right here.
Caleb James on for the PAT, low snap. Good job by the holder to get it down. The extra point is up and good. 16-0 thanks to the 80-yard pitch and catch between Forbacher and Ramon Green.
All day long. Great speed, gets 5 yards behind the defenders, and it's off to the races.
See ya. Ramon Green, obviously known for what he does when he gets the ball handed to him in the backfield. This is going to be something that offensive coordinator Nick Petrino at Missouri State is going to love to see.
Well, you kind of look at Ramon celebrating there just a little bit like, man, I did what I was trying to do, beat the secondary, and my man laid it in my hands the way I needed it. That was a nicely executed play there.
Yeah, we had a chance to talk to Ramon and Cole at their practice this week. The coaches from the East, Cody Bull and Coach Shore, were great to let us come out and talk to the guys. And Forbacher, obviously you're familiar with their family. The first thing I wanted to ask Cole was, can you find your way to the football office on Missouri State with your eyes closed? He goes, yeah, I think I can.
Yeah.
And this is a young man who graduated, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. He said it's a busy time, going to be a busy time over on campus, as you see Cole right there.
Cody Bull just completed his 6th season at Marshfield. Originally from Enid, Oklahoma, he played college football at SBU.
See what kind of foot James gets into this one.
Ball teed up on the 40, another low spinner. That one will go all the way through the back of the end zone and come back out. And now a little extracurricular on the far side of the field. I like play to the whistle, but just don't play after the whistle, boys.
Well, you know, it's been a long time since October, November when you last hit somebody, and you know, if this is your last game, you want to hit somebody.
Yeah, Ramon Green Jr. is going to be tough for John Perry to replace. You know, since John Perry has come to Nixa and taken over that program, they have been going like gangbusters. They went 10-2 this year to the Eagles. But that's going to be a big void to field in the Eagles' backfield next year. There you see Cody Bull again, going to watch his son Bryant make the move from quarterback to wide receiver down at Pittsburgh State, as he's going to be a gorilla. First and 10 for the West now. Looking to pass down the field. That one is nearly picked off as Cade Musia just had that one hit him right in the hands.
He was like going, nuts. This has pick 6 written all over it right here. Look at this, right at him. Oh man, he saw it. Eyes were on it all the way. He just can't believe he had the opportunity and missed it.
Will Carlton very lucky that didn't end up going for 6 points the other way, giving the East an even larger lead than the 16-0 advantage they own now. Another low snap of the shotgun, play action over the middle. This time it is caught. Gain of 17 yards that time as they find the former Carthage Tiger.
We're jawing a little bit out there.
Hudson Moore on the pitch and catch that time. You see the low snap, good pressure up the middle that time, but Moore's a big target.
Well, he probably went about 8 feet off the ground and comes up, and watch this. He's in somebody's face right there.
Ethan Sutherland, former Ozark Tiger, takes him down around the ankles until help could arrive. Big opportunity, though, moving the chains for the West.
17.
Under 11 minutes to go. Another low snap. Carlton will have to just kind of take it himself, try to make something out of nothing, and he'll get about 1.5 yards there on first down. And that's what happens sometimes, Tom, when you put the ball on the turf.
Well, yeah. The snap was not a good one to him. It had no spin at all. He had to feel for it twice to get it, and then the pursuit came from behind. And you see really good pursuit as Davidson, another Nixa product, comes in and pulls him down.
Jagger Robinson wears number 77. He was in on the stop as well. 3 down linemen this time for the East. 2 receivers to the top of the formation. This time they'll go back to the Republic run game, and that'll net them 3 or 4 yards. Taking it off the right tackle that time was number 32, Connor Sandridge.
Carlton had to pick it up off the turf again, so they're having a little connection problem from the center back. See it right there, skips down to him again, so Carlton's having to go down and bail it out just about every time.
He made that look really smooth that time, though. It didn't really disrupt the timing. That was just a good angle of attack and a good finish by the East All-Stars on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, I kind of sound like I'm alibiing for the kids, but, think of the center. He hasn't been snapping balls for 6 months, and you're asking him all of a sudden to be right back in his routine.
3rd down, this ball. What ends up being a little bit of a flea flicker, and Carlton gets crushed out of bounds. Picks up barely 1, and Tom, I'd say it took about a quarter, and now we're hitting.
Yeah, there's some hitting going on. These guys, now watch right here.
And I don't think this was a designed flea flicker. I think it was just a broken play.
Yeah, I think that Stedman was supposed to come back and get the handoff there, and you saw the pitch back to Carlton, and boy, again, was that Davidson? 3 plays in a row for Davidson. Big impact player right there. So 4th down, and the West is going to have to make a decision.
We'll have a timeout here with 9:23 to go. Great crowd on hand, and tell you what, it was great that the little cloud and some rain came over a couple hours ago. Really kind of took the edge off. It was pushing about 88 degrees when we got here for setup.
Well, on artificial turf in the summer, you can actually throw about another 15 degrees. So if we had gone game time at about 85, they'd be playing on 100-degree turf right now. And we know it's not that bad. So, yeah, the cloud cover has really been a benefit.
You can watch this game after the fact on our new look website, mc22.net. A great job by the team up in Des Moines, Iowa. Complete redesign in the last couple of months. Now kind of has a Netflix vibe to it. You can go and check out the entire season of high school football, all the other high school sports we cover here on MC22, volleyball, basketball, baseball, you name it, swimming as well, all on mc22.net.
It's a gamble play coming up for the West. They need about 4 to 4.5 yards, and No intention of kicking it here. They're going to see if they can convert. Oh, now we get a flag.
Well,
what would this be for?
I think we're getting warned here.
Oh, let's see what he's going to tell us here. Unsportsmanlike on the west. I don't know what they did.
Got to think either something was said, or you can see the receiver Hudson Moore trying to pull his jersey down.
Yeah.
And maybe he's got it rolled up and underneath the shoulder pad so much that I mean, you tell me, can you tell what the number is from the front?
No, you
I
can't from the front. But that's the unsportsmanlike, and they pointed that direction, so I'm assuming.
And that 15 yards is going to push them out of going for it on 4th down and short, and most likely having to put the ball back in the hands of the Mount Vernon Mountaineer, Malachi Hinnom, to try and kick this one away.
Well, and you're going to see the receiver, the deep man's back inside his 30, and if Hinnom can get it back that far, it'll be pretty fortunate. But yeah, just didn't work out very well right that time. Moore out of Carthage. Indicate, not a good kick.
High punt that time, will die at about the 50-yard line. Bounce right into the hands of Avian Stedman Jr. And it'll be another start at midfield for the East All-Stars. And other than that opening kick, Tom, the East All-Stars really have pretty much started every drive around the 50-yard line. So they've only had to navigate about half of the field. As you get a look right inside the huddle here, offensive coordinator Jeff Shore. Man, it looked like Coach Shore was having fun this week at practice.
Yeah, for a retired coach, he kind of came out of retirement for practice with it where we were at. Yeah.
You don't think he's going to pull like a Jay Osborne, right, and say he's retired, then we're going to see him pop up somewhere coaching next year?
I'm going to call Jeff Brady. Yeah, he may show up somewhere. You never know.
Pull a Tom Brady. I'm not quite done yet. 5 wide receivers once again for the East. Quick check down. Falcon to Falcon is Forbacher. Finds Wyatt Andrews, and that's a connection, Tom, that paid a lot of dividends over the course of the season over at Lowe Stadium.
Those two connected, I imagine in their sleep they saw each other's numbers. Pick up a 3.
Forbacher will put the offense back to work. 2nd down and 7 now as the East has crossed midfield. Pressure from the right side, and a quick hitter this time over the middle. That is caught by Cole Griesmer.
That's a Cole to Cole. Griesmer comes up, and he took a pretty, I think he rolled something there. He's asking to come out.
You see the list of future Missouri State Bears. We've talked about Forbacher, Ramon Green, Andrew Link, Heston Miller not in this game tonight, along with former Glendale Falcon Cooper Roy, who went to the Air Force Academy and now is coming back home. Here on 3rd down, Forbacher can't go anywhere. It looked like Nye Wells got to the quarterback again. That's the 2nd time Nye Wells has been able to get into the backfield, but on 4th down, the East has no intention of taking their foot off the gas.
No, and they drew them off. And once again, a little aggressiveness by the West that time. That'll pull them across. That'll get them to 5 yards and a 1st down.
Referee Dave Cox pointing the other way, so with the defense offsides, that'll be a fresh set of downs for the East. Sometimes I feel like I'm doing my Art Haynes impression where I'm trying to go through a stack of papers and I can't find the one piece of paper that I'm looking for.
Bryant Bull's name we haven't called for a while.
Well, it might be time, as that pass will fall incomplete. The intended target that time. Down the far side of the field.
Bull is headed to Pitt State.
To be a wide receiver now.
Well, quarterback slash receiver slash quarterback. I think just be an athlete and get there and play for him. And I think tonight might be an opportunity to really show a little bit of what his route running can look like and give his future guerrilla coaching staff an indication of what they can use him for.
Brock Lyle was the intended target. This time it'll be Bull. He's in the backfield and then is able to make positive yardage. Dives forward to pick up 3 or 4 on 2nd down that time. A lot of the designed plays to Bull so far, Tom, have been quick hitters, little screens, and then let his athleticism take over.
Let his legs do it. Yeah, he's tall, lanky, he can shake people, and he's not easy to bring down because there's a lot of him to bring down at 6'5".
Vorbacher needs to convert on third down here. The East with a 16-0 advantage. Low snap, Vorbacher hit as he throws, but he finds his man fighting for the extra yardage, and that final dive may have got him there that time as Ryan Kohler from Willow Springs dives forward. And all depends on where the spot is, but he was close to the first down marker.
Well, he was diving backwards at the time, and I think by diving backwards and extending himself, he got the yardage. Watch this. Vorbacher took a hit. Now, here's a potential stop right here, but he uses that shoulder and lunges ahead.
They do give him the first down yardage. Vorbacher inside this time. Andrews down the hash marks, and he'll get about 6-7 yards on the first down play as the two former Falcons continue to show that they are simpatico even in the summer.
Pickup of 7, and I'll tell you, Corey, you can just see when you've got quarterbacks that are 6'5" and 6'6" standing back there, able to pick the defense apart. That's why the East is so effective right now, and the West trying to pick up the pieces.
Ball right around the 20. Vorbacher slinging it again. This time cut down short of the first down marker. Good defense that time on the far side of the field by Hernan Hernandez out of Cassville.
Yeah, nice stop. Really nice stop. You see turn, the look, the catch, but more importantly, the timely stop.
Hernan plans on going to Barber College next year. Says his favorite moment of the year was against Aurora. He had the game-winning, game-sealing interception in that game.
Short yardage.
Third down and short. Vorbacher flips it ahead, but the defense knew what was coming that time and says nothing doing.
Reese Waters on the carry right there.
No gain on the play that time. Cole Berry, Cooper Douglas, both there on the stop, and another fourth down time, and you've got to think they're going to go for it again.
Well, they will. Loss of 2 pushes it back to a 4th and 3 now. They had it 3rd and 1. Still might see Vorbacher tuck and go here. You never know. He's pretty adept at that.
He and Knitzel have both already drawn the defensive line off twice in this game with a hard count. This time they'll go ahead and snap it. Vorbacher flush from the pocket, has to throw on the run to the end zone. Touchdown East. Blake Russell, the target that time to make it 22-0 in favor of the East All-Stars. About 21 yards on the pitch and catch that time as the former Hollister running back gets into the scoring.
Well, he did a nice job of getting behind the corner, and Vorbacher did an equally good job of sprinting out and just dropping it over right where it needed to be, and he made it an easy catch and score.
Blake Russell, all conference, all district standout for Hollister. James again on to get it 1 point at a time. He toes this one up and through. Under the lights here at JFK Stadium, it has been all East so far, 23-0.
Nice sprint out here by Vorbacher, and look at this. When you're 6'5", you just kind of look over the top, and when you got a man that's 5 yards behind him.
He had 3 guys he could have thrown the ball to, and he made the right decision there.
Yeah, the other 2 guys may go back to the huddle and say, hey, what about me? Yeah, nice look, nice catch, and you see Griesmer celebrating as they trot into the end zone.
Reese Waters was right there too. Waters could have easily come out with the touchdown reception, but this one goes to Blake Russell as Cole Vorbacher continues to try and share the wealth amongst his East All-Stars teammates. It has been all red so far, up 23-0. Halftime will bring you first half highlights. We'll also talk to you at halftime about a lot of head coaching changes that are in store for the fall, as 9, almost 10 different programs that we cover here in Southwest Missouri will have new men leading them when we get back to the fall of 2023, including Jeff Shore's retirement and his longtime assistant coach, Par Pitts, taking over for him.
Well, you know, it's just the evolution of where it's at. And a lot of, you know, if you had told me how long Jeff had been at Camdenton, because I'm still thinking of Bob, and, you know, I mean, just all of a sudden you look down and Jeff's been there that long.
Well, so add the two together. So how long has Shore been at the helm at Camdenton?
Who was
who was president?
Who was president?
The last time Ashore wasn't a head coach in Camdenton.
We're going to get a flag here. Did that go out short of the goal line, or did it go through?
I never even heard the whistle.
Yeah, they're going to say it's a touch. Yeah, they'll call it a touchback. I guess it slept inside the pylon there.
Forbacher not only good on the field, but good in the classroom. Cole was recognized this year, National Honor Society, the regional passing leader in the Midwest for high school football players. He's already in summer school, trying to get stuff going.
Talked to him the other night. You don't know what your role going in as a freshman's going to be. He likes to think that maybe the quarterback situation for the Bears is wide open.
Fluid.
Yeah, maybe it's wide open, so who knows?
Brock Mooneyham will bring the West All-Stars back out. Run play designed to come to the near side of the field. Turning upfield that time was Avius Stedman, and a flag on the play after a modest gain on first down.
On the corner there, we might have a hold on the edge there. I'm not sure. We'll look and see what they're going to do. But he had nice yardage all the way out to the 27, 28 yard line, but I think it's going to be for naught.
Yeah.
They'll call the hold.
Yeah, it would have been good for 7 yards and change.
Yeah, there's the hold right there.
Tell you what, though, the hitting has drastically changed from the first quarter to the second quarter. Well, I think everybody's got the rust knocked off, and they're throwing their shoulder pads and helmets around and looking to make contact.
Well, unlike the NFL Pro Bowl where nobody touches anybody, these guys are touching people in this All-Star game.
Well, there's a reason why the NFL went to a flag football game this year. Give me a break.
Yeah.
First and forever now. Mooneyham flush from the pocket, throws on the run, and reaching up and over everybody is Hudson Moore.
They're going to say he wasn't in bounds.
Oh, man.
The official ran up to the 25-yard line and signaled that he did not come down. It's going to be right here in your face. Moore goes up.
But you got to look at the feet.
Look at the catch over the top, and there's
only need 1 foot in high school.
I thought that left foot was down, but they're saying no.
That looked pretty good from up here, but
okay.
Hudson Moore and company will have to do it again. Mooneyham gets the call in from the far sideline. Peyton Grubbs, the head coach of the West, just completed his 7th season as the head coach of the Marionville Comets. 51 wins against 27 losses for the 2005 grad who is running the program at his alma mater. Second down and long, quick hitter to the near side. Curling in is Connor Ackerson, former Seneca Indian.
Hey, he
made positive yardage.
He made it work after the catch. The yards after catch right there. Picked up another 6 or 7, gets it out across the 25 to the 26, a pickup of almost 11.
10 yards and change that time on what was really a play that's designed to only advance the ball 2 or 3 yards, but it's up to the receiver to get that yak, the yards after the catch, and see what they can do.
Well, third and manageable here. They need just a little under 5 yards. Got to get across the 30-yard line to keep the drive alive.
Under 4 minutes to play until the intermission. Mooneyham barks out the cadence. More running plays this time through the middle off the right side of the line. Falling forward for a gain of 2 that time was the running back. Musia on the stop. The carry for the West. Parnell once again.
Timeout for the East. They want the ball back. So they started after the penalty. They had a 1st and 15. They got 13, not quite 13. Got about 12 yards out of those 3 plays. And now they've got a 4th and 3, and they're probably going to have to kick it out of here.
So I was looking at this earlier today, thinking about all of the great talent that both of these two teams have and all the great programs they represent. Realize that no Southwest Missouri State football team won a state title this year. And you've got to go back to 2018, the last time this part of the state got held out. Webb City won a title in 21. Lamar won it in 2020. Webb City and Carthage both won state championships in 2019.
Yeah. And you mentioned one school there that's not represented tonight in Lamar.
Yep.
And they got caught up in a scheduling conflict with their senior players on a senior trip.
I didn't even know schools still did senior trips.
But yeah, they're Lamar kids are on the road. Keeper.
Quarterback keeper Mooneyham. Good stiff arm on Musia. He gets taken down on the Mercy logo as they roll the dice on 4th down and come up about 2 yards short. Cade Musia holding on for dear life, not letting go of Brock Mooneyham, and it'll be a turnover on downs.
Well, a short field for the East now that has shown the ability to go deep, go short, or drive the ball, and this is going to open the door for them before halftime to possibly tack on a little bit more.
Cade Musia, not only an all-state football player, but an all-state wrestler in 2023. He will take his talents to Bolivar.
Knitschel back in at quarterback now for the East.
The former Eagle wants to throw on 1st down, but he is in the grasp and sacked. Taken down in the backfield, and a big loss on the play is the West. Jack Klein, the former Aurora Hound Dog, getting it done.
I think he thought, if I just can get another split second here, I can get a man open. He waits here, waits again. They've got him kind of tied up here, but just not the leverage to unload the ball, and winds up with a 10-yard loss.
Jack Klein, Aurora out of the Big 8 East. He was all conference as both a defensive lineman and an offensive lineman this year. There's just a little bit too much shake and bake that time as the receiver is cut down on the 30-yard line that time as the catch is made by Ryan Kohler, but he tried to cut there, Tom, just looked like he caught an edge.
Yep, tried to plant a foot and move, couldn't get there. 3rd down, 15.
Quick pass to the near side, Ramon Green, another reception, puts his hands down. A little shake and bake, but can't get out of the arms of 2 tacklers. And it'll be 4th down and still about 12 yards here.
Green gets credit for making something there, because if he doesn't plant that left arm and stay balanced, he's down. But he picks up about 3. But like you said, it's a 4th and long, and with a wide lead like this, they'll go for it. But the East will take another timeout.
Lincoln Renfro out of Seneca, part of the defensive crew in on the stop that time. Another all-conference Big 8 West selection. West has players from Mount Vernon, Nevada, Sircoxie, Ashgrove, Marionville, Republic, Bolivar, Joplin. It's one of the reasons why it makes this just such a great event for us to cover. One, because it's a spectacular event. Bonnie and all the folks at the Ronald McDonald House Charities do such a great job putting it on. But all these kids come from communities, Tom, that are all served by MediaCom. These are all the places that we make out a schedule for in the fall and try to get to each and every one of these towns. But you can't get to all of them every season.
Can't do them all. But because of the growth and expansion of MediaCom, there's more and more programs that we'd love to go see. Just can't quite do it.
Yeah, it wasn't until a couple years ago we started making our way out to Sircoxie and kind of added that road trip into the mix.
Well, and as you just alluded to a while ago, there's so much good football to the west in the alignment here that you want to see those Western programs that just thrive on great Friday night activity. 4th and 12, see what happens.
Connor Knitzel, committed to play at Mid-America Nazarene, Heart of America Athletic Conference, going for it all on 4th down. Deep ball toward the back of the end zone, and that is picked off. Then dancing out of the back of the end zone that time, the West getting the INT.
But you know
that was Carlton with the pick.
But Carlton cost them 7 yards.
Yes, he did.
If he knocks it away, they get the ball at the 27. He catches it, and they get it at the 20. But, you know, he'd rather have the pick. Right here, if he just doesn't catch it, but you can't tell him not to catch it. That's what you're there for.
Well, throwing into triple coverage that time. Bryant Bull's got long arms at 6'5", 195 pounds, but he can't fight off 3 different defensive backs, and he was kind of in the middle of a hornet's nest that time. And Carlton, the beneficiary, coming up with the INT, and the West will get the ball back with just under 2 minutes to go before halftime.
Got a chance. West needs to get something going here. They really haven't been able to get on track very well.
They're trying. They faked the handoff to Avius Stedman Jr. that time. Then the next man around. Ball on the ground, and Brock Mooneyham decides to keep it himself. I say West has plenty of weapons. Avius Stedman out of Nevada. You've obviously seen what Hudson Moore can do. Hudson Moore with just a great catch radius at 6'6" for a wide receiver.
Well, you want to get the ball up above his shoulders as often as you can, because he's going to be able to outreach just about any secondary man.
On 2nd down and 5, deep throw down the hash marks, and good defensive coverage that time.
Gunnar Ellison was on a mission that time, just was a half a step short of pulling it in.
Samias Pickett providing the coverage that time. Pickett's going to go to Midland University in Fremont, Nebraska, the Midland U Warriors.
We joked with him a little bit, and I said, now you know how cold it gets up there, right? He goes, well, yeah, sort of. But what a great attitude he has, and he's really looking forward to it.
Third down and about 5 for Samias Pickett, the East All-Stars.
Well, the West got to be careful here. If they don't convert and give it back to the East may have time on a short field.
Quarterback keeper Mooneyham calls his own number, steps around one man, has a first down and more, crosses the 40, stopped at the 45-yard line. As that time Mooneyham says this one's mine, and he's able to move the chains and gets the West just 5 yards short of midfield. And everybody going to hurry up now with just about a minute 3 seconds left in this one.
20 yards on the gain, and he'll spike it.
Clock play this time for Mooneyham. He had Connor Sandridge in the backfield. One of my all-time favorite plays in the NFL was the Dan Marino clock play, where he tells everybody, get on the line, get on the line, and fakes it.
Fakes it.
And an all-star game would be a great place to break out that play as you see the run by Mooneyham.
Yeah, good run by Mooneyham. They corral him down at the 45-yard line as we go under a minute. They've got 45 yards to go, trying to get on the board here before halftime.
Three linemen and 4 linebackers for the East defensively. Mooneyham bootlegs to the right, throws on the run. This one is going to be up for grabs, and it's intercepted by the East. That ball hawked by Jaden Parkman out of Camdenton.
And he did that one falling backwards, and he's celebrating just a little bit. And you know what he's saying? That's why I came to practice this week. That's why I'm playing in the game. I got my opportunity.
Third team All-Stater. 3-time first team All-Central Ozark Conference. And he high points this ball well, Tom.
Well,
look at him.
Mooneyham just doesn't have quite enough to get it to where he's trying. And you see right there that he comes down, does Parkman, just right behind the receiver and concentrates, pulls it down. I mean, that's one of those that can use get away. Hey, they practiced this all week.
They must have worked on that in practice. Tyler Willis, the former Carthage Tiger, was the intended target that time at tight end. 50 seconds and change here as the East goes back to work, and that one goes right through the hands of Cole Griesmer. Cole Forbacher back in at quarterback. There is the hero of the defense, Jaden Parkman there, the safety. Quick throw along the near side as Forbacher finds Wyatt Andrews, his favorite target, his former high school teammate. Andrews' accolades this year, Tom, a second-team All-Stater, an academic All-Stater. He's thinking about majoring in business at school. He's going to Fayetteville, and he says, when the Hogs say they're going to have walk-ons, he's going to go give it a try.
Heck yes.
Deep throw down the far sideline, just off the fingertips of Bull. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
Bull got behind him there, and that one was, they say, just a matter of inches.
He and Forbacher have missed connecting by fingertips about 2 or 3 times now.
We got 2 of the tallest guys on the field tonight. 6'5" throwing to 6'6".
I think the East would definitely win in a pickup basketball game.
Yeah, if these guys want to go play 3-on-3 right now, we'd see what happens. 4th down and going to go for it.
Just under 37 seconds. Forbacher. Hard count that time, but can't get anybody to jump. Actually, they put Bull back at quarterback now, and he'll do a little pooch kick. Nobody back, and wow, what a great bounce for the East. That one's going to roll all the way down and check up on the 10-yard line. Bull bombs that one away and flips the field. in favor of the East.
68 yards on the punt.
That's pretty good pooch kick right there.
Not bad. See Bryant right there, and Forbachner's going well. Put that one, store that one away, Coach. I can do that one for you.
I can kick it for you too if you need me to.
There you go.
Mid-American Nazarene, the future landing spot for Bryant Bull. Always had fun when we've taken the MC22 crew out to Marshfield. Heck, we were there one night and they had a power outage. The scoreboard didn't get going until about 10 minutes before game time.
Yep.
Always exciting in Marshfield.